Welcome to Know a Bit of It. Today we will know a bit of Chris Cornell. Christopher John Boyle was born on July 20, 1964. Chris Cornell was an American musician, singer, and songwriter. He was best known as the lead vocalist for the rock bands Soundgarden and Audioslave. Cornell was also known for his numerous solo works and soundtrack contributions since 1991. And as the founder and frontman for Temple of the Dog. Across his entire catalogue, Cornell has sold 14.8 million albums, 8.8 million digital songs, and 300 million on-demand audio streams in the US alone, as well as over 30 million records worldwide. He was nominated for 14 Grammy Awards and won twice. Chris Cornell is a modern innovator who transcends genre. He was the chief architect of the 90s grunge movement and remains one of the best rock voices of all time. Achieving multi-platinum success with 3 legendary bands, selling over 30 million records worldwide, he has forged his own unique identity over 3 decades as a Grammy Award-winning, Golden Globe-nominated singer, songwriter, guitarist, composer and lyricist. Cornell spent a 2-year period between the ages of 9 and 11 solidly listening to the Beatles after finding a large collection of Beatles records abandoned in the basement of a neighbor's house. Cornell took piano and guitar lessons as a child. He once explained that his mother saved his life when she bought him a snare drum, the instrument he adopted in beginning his path to become a rock musician. Before becoming a successful musician, he worked as a busboy, as a dishwasher, as a fish handler at a seafood wholesaler and was a sous chef at Ray's Boathouse in Seattle. In the early 1980s, Cornell was a member of a cover band called the Shemps, which featured bassist Hiro Yamamoto and performed around Seattle. Soundgarden was formed in 1984 by Cornell, Helen Yamamoto with Cornell originally on drums and vocals. They earned a Grammy Award nomination for Best Metal Performance in 1990. The band's 4th studio album, 1994's Super Unknown, proved to be the band's breakthrough album. Upon its release in March 1994, Super Unknown debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. The band's 4th studio album, 1994's Super Unknown, proved to be the band's breakthrough album. Upon its release in March 1994, Super Unknown debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. In 1998, Cornell began working on material for a solo album on which he collaborated with Alan Johannes and Natasha Schneider of the band 11. The album, titled Euphoria Morning, was released on September 21, 1999. In 2008, Cornell was featured on the main stage of Linkin Park's Project Revolution tour. In November 2011, Cornell released Songbook, an acoustic live album featuring songs recorded during Cornell's Songbook tour in North America. Chris Cornell joined Audioslave as the singer, rhythm guitarist. Their debut album, Audioslave, released in November 2002, spawned hits such as Cockeyes, Like a Stone and Show Me How to Live, and has reached triple platinum status in the United States. On January 17, 2017, it was announced that Audioslave would reunite for their first show in 12 years at Prophets of Rage's anti-inaugural ball, protesting President Donald Trump's inauguration as President of the United States. The event took place on January 20, 2017. From 1986 to 1987, Cornell was also a member of the satirical Western swing band Center for Disease Control Boys. Audioslave's second album, Out of Exile, was released in May 2005. Cornell worked as a co-producer and backing vocalist on the Screaming Trees 1991 album, Uncle Anesthesia. Cornell sang one song, which he co-wrote, on Slash's solo record released in April 2010. The song is called Promise and it was premiered at Amazon.com on March 26, 2010. In 1992, Cornell contributed his solo song Seasons, and Soundgarden's song Birth Ritual, to the single's soundtrack. Cornell re-recorded the song Seasons for the film Man of Steel in 2013. In 2012, Soundgarden released their first song in 15 years, Live to Rise, for the Avengers movie soundtrack. In 2013, Cornell wrote the song Misery Chain, for the soundtrack to the film 12 Years a Slave, in which he performed a duet with Joy Williams. In 2016, Cornell covered the song Stay With Me Baby for the soundtrack of the HBO TV series Vinyl. Cornell's songwriting often features non-standard chord progressions and melodies that do not conform with one diatonic scale. A prominent example is Black Hole Sun, which not only involves many kinds of open chords and several key changes in short sequences, but also unique melody phrases with large interval jumps. Cornell had a multi-octave range. He was a baritone with an ability to sing extremely high in the tenor range, as well as in the lower register of a baritone voice. Cornell released 5 solo albums. Soundgarden produced 6 albums, 5 EPs and 2 greatest hits compilations. He released 3 albums with Audioslave and 1 album with Temple of the Dog. Despite this large discography, Cornell only released 1 retrospective compilation, which was given a limited release. Cornell also produced the Screaming Trees album Uncle Anesthesia. Around 12:15 a.m. on May 18, 2017, Cornell was found dead by his bodyguard in the bathroom of his room at the MGM Grand in Detroit after performing at a show with Soundgarden at the Fox Theater on May 17. The cause of death was determined to be suicide by hanging. Cornell was 52 years old. Footage of his final concert was posted on YouTube. Cornell's wife said, "When we spoke after the show, I noticed he was slurring his words. He was different. When he told me he may have taken an extra or 2, I contacted security and asked that they check on him." Following the release of the autopsy and toxicology report, Cornell's widow released a statement to the press. "Many of us who know Chris well noticed that he wasn't himself during his final hours and that something was very off. We have learned from this report that several substances were found in his system. After so many years of sobriety, this moment of terrible judgment seems to have completely impaired and altered his state of mind. Something clearly went terribly wrong and my children and I are heartbroken and are devastated that this moment can never be taken back. We very much appreciate all of the love we have received during this extremely difficult time and are dedicated to helping others in preventing this type of tragedy." Following Cornell's death, his brother Peter started a campaign to raise awareness on depression and suicide prevention. Maybe we can help spare another family the devastation. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. Incredibly talented, incredibly young, incredibly missed. Thank you for being with us. Keep in touch for more and amazing bits of someone awesome. Hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel.